Hello, everyone. We are here for our production meeting as we do every Monday from 5 to 6 Pacific and 8 to 9 Eastern. So we have two things on the docket today, but then Jenna Marie also wants to talk about Gloucester plans because we'll all be meeting in Gloucester this weekend. Gloucester, sorry. Gloucester. Um, but Jay-Z, you're on. Sorry, I'm not allowed to tell Jay-Z's on mute. He gets mad.
Should I tell him?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Jay-Z, you're muted.
Oh dear. See, he got mad. He
Lost
laughed.
him. Yeah, fine,
You know-
I'm leaving.
How we were talking this morning at our meeting about like meta commentary, like I feel like you're muted is one of those two. People are like do it really fast.
Andy, I feel like I say something to you once, and then you think that that's it for the rest of our lives.
That's how well I listen.
There was a nuance to the not telling me I was on mute.
All right. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm going off that until further notice, which is now we can tell you whatever we want apparently.
Yeah, tell me whenever you want. That was, you know what? That was when we were still like smoking weed and drinking, and I couldn't handle all of the like controls.
Oh, whoa. Jeez.
Just being real.
That was like years ago then. It's been like 2.5 years since we quit. So
It has been October 11th was 2 years, and
Wow.
I salute you and everybody out there with this Michelob Ultra Zero.
Ultra Zero.
That was my
Absolutely.
old
Ultra Zero.
anniversary, October 11th.
That was
Is
your what?
My original, I'm twice married, so my first marriage was on October 11th.
Oh wow!
Wow.
There you go.
I'm drinking my 10th coffee for today.
All right.
This is a 12-year-old Scotch.
This
All
is
right.
1 day water. Okay.
Windsor. Kimber, you're on hydration fast.
Water, and then I have a V8 energy.
Ooh, all right. Think of choice. V8 energy. Good to know.
Oh, well, we know who's rocking and rolling here. It's Alexander. Because he's smoking scotch.
Rock and roll.
Just kidding, we're all rocking and rolling. It's not the drink that makes rock and roll, it's the context. And
I think you're on mute now. Or can I?
No, I could hear her.
I can
Oh.
hear her.
Oh, I can't.
Oh no.
That's weird. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear everyone but Andy.
Can you hear
you
me?
got the Andy filter on.
Must
Oh.
be. That's right.
Can you hear me? That's so weird. She can't
Not
hear
that the
me.
planets are out to get you, but
Hold on. Can you hear me now? Dude, she can't hear me. I don't know what to
Oh,
do.
that is weird. I can hear you.
I can hear you.
yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you too.
Anybody in the chat, can you hear Andy?
I could hear her before, and now I can't. So, but you guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave and come back.
All right. Come back with the Andy filter
that's
off.
what they all say.
Okay, so hey, well, Kimber's going. Let's talk about plans for Gloucester. Jenna wants to know what time she should be there on Friday.
Oh, I don't know. So the plan was we were gonna just be kicking around and in our regular attire for a while and film some like B-roll, and then we were gonna put our costumes on and film some stuff. I've been practice. Andy, you were gonna say something.
Oh no, but I'll let you finish.
I think. Well, I've been practicing the songs that we wanted to record, so there's that, and I think we were going to record some music, maybe some harmonium and piano or some other things. So but I think the plans are flexible and open to whoever's here whenever they're here.
Well, I think maybe if Jenna's coming in around dinner time, maybe we should meet up for dinner and have dinner and just like get like chat together
Oh
and
yeah.
and like do maybe Friday night should be production stuff like how we make the plans for the whole year on the art side of things because we were talking about having a strategic planning meeting of like
Yeah.
planning for the year. So maybe Friday night would be a good time for that if Saturday works for the clowns to get together.
Yeah, they do. And I asked Kristen, and so she's gonna come and hang out with us on Saturday and be a clown and be, up for anything.
Okay, so maybe we should do natural, just production meeting stuff Friday night, and then we should be in costume on Saturday during the day. What is
All
that?
right.
What do you
Yeah.
think?
Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we might get a little more. Wait, but you're not getting here till like 4 p.m. though, right? Oh, 3, 2. I forget. Anyway.
Well, that's the question: is what time should she get there?
No, you, Andy.
Oh, I'm getting there Thursday night.
Oh,
Then.
on Thursday, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So
We're
you
doing
and
that-
I will still during the day on Friday do other things.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be all like acted out because usually by the nighttime, I mean, well, I don't know. Like, if we've been acting and doing stuff all day, we might just want to chill by that point. And like, so maybe we could have dinner with Jenna, just chit chat, and then we could have a production planning, strategic planning meeting where we plan the year of clown stuff.
Yeah.
And then Jenna wanted to have you wanted to have a like a powwow about something. I can't remember what that was, Jenna.
Right now, you mean?
No. It was like you had said when we're in Gloucester, can we talk about this thing? But I can't remember what that was.
Yeah, let me look it up because it's in our messages. One moment.
Please hold.
Talk about other stuff.
And we can also plan what we're going to do for Saturday and on Friday night.
Yeah. Then should I invite Kristen along too?
On Friday night for dinner?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Should I invite Sam?
Sure. I mean, the more the merrier from where I'm looking, especially if we're just chit chatting, and that would be cool to get to know Sam anyway.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still not finding this. I need to like search. Hold on.
Okay. Well, we can
Wow.
find that. Can you hear me now, Kimber?
Yes.
Okay.
That was
Yeah,
so
I have like 27 there on Friday.
Oh. Jeezy and I'll have to cuddle.
Oh, 27 degrees.
Yeah, I have 27 on Friday and a low of 18 Saturday night. Jesus.
Oh yeah, we can stay inside though. There's plenty of room inside, so that's what we're doing. So I didn't see the question that you asked at the beginning. Kind of took me by surprise because I didn't really understand all the context behind it. But I get it now. Jenna, you're coming on Friday around dinner time is great because then we can all have dinner. Andy gets her need for dinner met, and we'll have had some time during the day, and then we can all get settled here. We can all go out to dinner together, and that would be great. And then you guys are going to stay over here, Sam, you and Sam, right?
I don't think Sam's going to because of the dogs.
Oh, okay. So, but he'll split and go back, but you'll stay here?
Yeah. Is that cool?
All right. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah.
I figured out what the thing was. I had asked Andy, maybe we could do this at dinner. I had this like vision for this software that like visualized the transits as they like the planets as they impact the individual person. And I just wanted to like spitball it with you because I know you understand computers and coding and like is it even possible? Is it what I'm imagining? Because I don't really understand anything about coding, but yeah.
I can answer that right now. Yes, it is possible, and also it's a lot of work.
Okay. So it wouldn't be like a fun little project. It would be like heavy. It wouldn't be me and ChatGPT hanging out.
It would be, but as ChatGPT and other things, coding assistants, is you'd call in this context, are getting better and better, it will become easier and easier to make an app like that.
Okay,
Cool.
But right now, it would take somebody some effort.
Okay.
I will tell you this from counting numbers of what people are interested in. The computer programs, people are not into them. I mean, well, it's not that I just feel like there's a lot of computer programs for astrology, and like every time we do a computer program show, it gets like super low views. I don't know if that says anything about the interest in computer programs, but
Yeah, I was hoping it would be like a fun visual little app where it's like, say, Mercury's stationing, so it's moving slow and it's on something in your chart. So like the visual of the transits gives you a huge Mercury, like basically just saying like this planet's powerful right now for you. And like even though other planets are powerful too, maybe they're not hitting something and they're just kind of cruising along. So they're little. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It would be a lot of work for just
Yeah.
a gimmicky thing.
I feel like people too, like with astrology apps, they've picked the one that they decided to pick and are very like loyal to whatever they're on, even if there would be a new one. It's like the new versus, it's like the monopoly situation.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to get into huge explanations either, so it would be kind of like a periphery type app. Okay.
Cool.
Thanks, you guys.
But I mean, but okay. So Friday night, I think we should dinner. Then, if you want to spit one more on that, we can. We should do planning for strategic planning for the whole year on the art side of the equation, and then we should plan for Saturday.
Yeah.
And then by that time we'll be over sim and we can all bead and do our latch hooks.
Yes.
Okay, does that handle the? Do we? How about 6 p.m., Jenna?
6 p.m. Arrive at 6 p.m.
Does that work?
Yep.
Jay-Z?
Yeah. Well, and we can even like meet at the restaurant or something like that too if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Sure.
We can go to like Saltwater Grill or something.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll pick out somewhere good.
Okay, is there anyone has anything in the week in review?
Well, I was going to show the things that I've been inspired by and made progress on.
Okay.
Well, so first off, I'm doing great on the light bright. This is how it looks so far.
Oh, nice.
It does look great.
Oh, the
Did you
beard
have it
looks
on your
rad.
stove?
What?
Did you have it on your stove just now?
Oh, yeah.
On the
It's,
fireplace.
that's electric. Like
Oh,
that's
is
an LED.
Wow. That is so iconic looking. It's reduced Z0 down to like a few shapes, and that's really kind of interesting.
Yeah, right
The
on.
beard with the braids, and then the two eyes, the black and white circles, which is really cool.
Yeah. So I'm psyched about that. And then,
Picasso-esque.
what's that?
It's Picasso-esque.
We can call you Little
Oh,
Picasso.
yeah.
That's funny. All right. And then the other thing I got inspired after talking with you, Andy, is I got everything done with all. I now understand the Tougher Than the Rest song. And I pulled out my harmonica. I've been playing harmonica. I don't know if this will work or not, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Do you guys know that song by Bruce Springsteen? Tougher Than the Rest?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, it's so
You
romantic.
will soon. Anyway, yeah, I got my guitar out, and then also I got inspired. I'm getting ready for everybody to come here to Gloucester, so I have the studios all set up. So, and I just got this stuff set up too over here because now that I can play Tougher Than the Rest, I had this idea, and it may or may not happen before before you get here, Andy, in a couple days, but I might record me playing that song, and then we can put it as a YouTube video, and then will watch that video. Remember we were talking about this? Stardal will watch the video and fall in love with Z0, and then come fly out to meet Z0.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But just to make the possibility of that happen, it wouldn't happen unless I first made that video. So I'm just going to see if I could get that step done. And not to put any pressure on anything, but it's like a storyline that could happen.
Yeah, I might have to dress as Stardoll and go to the airport for that part of the video where she flies out.
And then pick Andy up as Z0.
Oh yeah, that's funny. Oh my god, what if I show up at the airport to pick you up as Z0?
Yeah, I won't be Stardoll flying, but I'm just saying I could simulate that, or we could show it with like a cartoon or something like that. You know, I think. Okay.
Yeah, or I could pick you up as Z0 anyway.
Okay, well, I'll definitely get film of it if you do. How did well, good job on all your projects, JC.
Thanks.
Jenna and Kimber, how did your show go today? It got up to 230 views. It went from last week it had 120, and this week it had 230.
Woo! I thought it went really well.
Yes, I felt like we were both more comfortable, and yeah, it was good.
And you had several people in the chat, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we had up to 10 people at once watching. I was like watching that little number. So, and yeah, a bunch of people interacting in the chat. Thanks for coming, Andy and Jay-Z.
Yes, and for the questions.
Yes, it was really cool. I didn't wait.
Thanks for rallying for that because I know it was your day off. Sorry, Jenna.
Oh no, it's okay. I didn't know it was your day off.
Oh yeah, that's why I could go, because I was on the day. I took a day off.
Oh, that's awesome. Did Shane watch it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not that I know of.
I was very controlled.
Oh, nice. I wonder if
you mean this?
He's like, I was a little nauseous. Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's a huge jump in numbers, and you never know why. Was it the topic? Is it that they saw you once? Is it that it's not the holiday? Well, like, what is that? I mean, anyone have any ideas why that huge jump in numbers?
I think it's the repetition.
Okay.
It's like, oh, they're back. Like, I think it's like the double take, the forced double take. I'm like, yep, we're here again.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how next week goes with like, I feel like less people will be off. So if that has anything to do with it. I mean, we don't know, don't have anything to compare it to, but I do feel like flagging what the next week's episode will be about is helpful if people are interested.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Do you even know where people are watching it from, Andy? Can you tell that on Facebook? Because there are so many astrologers and astrology adjacent people, but like even the friend requests that I get are from all over the world. So
yeah.
Just curious.
Okay, well, good job, ladies. If anyone listening, including Debbie D, wants to have your own show, we figure out how to let people into the studio so you can have your own show without me on it, which helps because I'm full of shows. But I think we do want to give people the opportunity to have shows if they want them. If you're a good, if you're somebody who we know well at the Moira Press, it's not like we would do that just. If we don't know you or something like that, but like Debbie, you're definitely part of the production and things like that. Okay, so I do have some things I want to talk about today. If we're done, any other updates or anything like that? Okay, so sometimes I take a study of production and I go off and I study, and my favorite production team to study is the World Wrestling Federation. You guys heard about this morning. But the reason that I study them is there's a lot of mystique around, wrestling. Is it real? Is it not? What stage? What is? And we're like that too. Are these transits real? Are people really fighting on the Facebook page? Is that staged? Is it fake? Is it real? We have a lot of that going on here. Plus, they show their production. Like I've been watching WWF Unreal. It's like a documentary series where they show like the production room and everything like that. And they do exactly what we're doing. They show their production team, and their production team sounds exactly like we do. Like we're basically doing what they do. But it's like they talk about ideas. What are we going to do? This or that. A lot of what they're talking about is storylines for wrestlers, but we do talk about storylines for the artists and things like that. There's a lot of character creation in WWF. What I really want to talk about today is good guys and bad guys, because I think largely now I'm going to go out on a limb here, and you may hate me after listening to me for here, but just give me a sec. I find when there's nothing going on in astrology, it gets rather boring. Now, there are conferences in astrology that are produced once a year, or maybe UX every few years, but we're a production team who produces astrology content 365 days a year. That's actually very different than producing once a year events, right? We have to keep things exciting for 365 days of the year. So, if you look at WWF, they have shows pretty much every night of the week, and they have to keep it exciting like all the time, right? So, what we know from wrestling is there are good guys and there are bad guys. There are baby faces and there are heels. The heels, the villains, actually get paid more money. They get booed a lot, but they are crowd favorites actually. But they do something called face turns where they turn good guys into bad guys and bad guys into good guys. That's when you turn heel. That stuff called a face turn. Um, we've turned people before. Like we had some guys who were kind of acting rogue, and we face turned them into good guys through astrological remediation. That was a storyline we did like maybe 6 years ago. And we were dealing with like domestic violence issues, and we were like, well, what if we do remedy and we get rid of these violent, like we like face turned them basically into like guys with hearts of gold. But the point is I really do want us as a production team to get used to being liked and not liked, because I think when people come through the pipeline, they just want to be liked. Like they come in like, I want everyone to like my posts, like my show, and all that kind of stuff. But if we produce too much likability content, we kind of lose. There's something about without a story arc or any drama, we lose the crowd. We just lose. We lose. So anyway, what do we think about good guys and bad guys in astrology? Are there any bad guys in astrology that you know of? How would you feel about being a good guy? These are a lot of questions, but just any thoughts on good guys and bad guys?
I don't think that there really is good guys or bad guys in astrology, but you do definitely need to have that conflict. It just makes it interesting. It just makes it like, like, whoa, what's going on here? People want to, they like to see that. And like, who's going to win this? Who's going to, if there's an argument, just, a discussion comes up and all of a sudden something, no, that I don't believe that at all. What are you talking about? Okay, let's discuss this because I don't think that's right. Mm-hmm. And then you could banter back and forth, and it makes it really interesting because people are like, "Ooh, what's going on with this?"
An intellectual debate is what I would say, because your approach to astrology is intellectual, Andy. I don't know about all the other people, but you are, I know. Mm-hmm. So an intellectual debate where two people are taking different sides and trying to explore how you can find common ground, to me, is much more interesting than good guys and bad guys, because once you know there's the good guy, there's the bad guy, stereotype is done. Mm-hmm. I might as well go home and make pancakes. So to have an intellectual debate about any topic is more stimulating. And maybe it's not for everybody because, people don't watch intellectual debates. They watch WWF. So it depends on who you're trying to rope in. But I'm more interested in intellectual debate. And if two people are arguing at each other with butter knives in their hands, that's fine, as long as there's some kind of actual debate going on. Once I know somebody's a good guy and somebody's a bad guy, there's no reason to stay there. My input has been taken out. I don't have to think about anything.
All right, I disagree with that because I don't think there are good guys and bad guys, and then you would know one's a good guy and one's a bad guy. I think that there is no inherent, like, nobody thinks they're evil, right? Everybody thinks they're doing the right thing from their perspective. So so I think what the categorizing people as good guys and bad guys are pointing out like which parts of their perspective the audience aligns with. But then they know when you reveal the other part, it's like, oh, but now I understand this supposed bad guy is just trying to do something that is good, you know, like, and it's, I guess that's where, Alexander, that for me, the intellectual conflict like happens, or the debate happens, or whatever, is like you're teaching the audience, oh no, this is that character's perspective, and that's why some of the audience likes that one and some likes this one, and then they could even flip.
Yeah, no butter knives have to be involved. I totally agree with Jay-Z. Yeah.
Well, what if we had a skeptic? We got someone to come out and act as an astrological skeptic on the Facebook wall. Like, we don't have any skeptics out there. We could get someone we know who's interested in acting, and we're like, all right, will you play the role of the villain to us, which is the skeptic?
Oh, well, okay. So I had this thought today when I was listening to you guys, Jenna and Kimber, on your show, right? Like, I know nothing about evolutionary astrology, and also I was asking the other week, like, who believes in reincarnation and who doesn't, and you guys were all like, "Oh, of course." Because of course.
Mhm.
Because of course. And I didn't know where your perspective was coming from. And then when you explained what evolutionary astrology was, I'm like, oh, they're bought into evolutionary astrology, and that's why they're bought into reincarnation and past lives.
Yeah.
So I could say, without trying to be a villain, if you want to debate whether or not past lives exist, I'm all for that.
When you were talking, it made me think too about the Ricky Williams show, like how much, and because he's evolutionary astrology. So when he was talking about reincarnation as machines, that was blowing my mind, and like thinking like we've learned from the same teacher. But it was interesting to kind of think about, like, you're not always a good guy or a bad guy, but it's like I'm vibing, I'm agreeing with everything you're saying. But there was something like a flow state almost that did get me really engaged. And there was a lot of comments during that episode when he started talking about how he views reincarnation. And it was because of him being an evolutionary astrologer that it was like, wait, what? And it was so, like, I was really excited to hear more about what he was saying, even if I disagree. So I do like that, but it's like he's not a permanent bad guy.
Yes, yes.
Well, and that's what they do in hi Bonnie, by the way. If you ever want to be let in the room, let us know, Bonnie, because I mean, you deal with production all the time. But okay, so the thing is like in WWF, Alexander, no character is only a heel or only a baby face. They flip. They like,
Right.
for example, there's this guy John Cena who's like the good guy of WWF for like 27 years, and then on his final year he flipped into a bad guy and he like beat up this other guy, like, and the crowd is crying. I mean, they're just like, the thing is, but it's like, I can do something heel right now, I can do something bad. Like, I can go on the page and be like, I believe in arranged marriages.
Well, I believe in arranged marriages.
Okay. You find that to be fine, but some people are like, what? And like, so that's a contentious statement.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, so I think we could start debating contentious statements, and that might be interesting.
Well, oh, go ahead, Jenna. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just gonna say. Okay, so the idea with the John Cena, it's interesting that mirrors the UFC, where you have people like John Jones who are like undefeated and everyone loves them, and then all of a sudden it's like domestic violence allegations, like all this stuff, and like everyone starts to hate him. And it happened with McGregor too, where it's like everyone's like, some people hated him because he was so cocky, but like they're riding and oh yay, and then he breaks his leg and then he like never really comes back. So he like kind of becomes this like has been villain archetype where it's like, yeah, we're done with you. So like the crowd reacts and hates them and they're kind of on their way out. So I think what we need to make sure is that like we figure out what the sweet spot is of like, if we're flipping people, I forgot what you called it, but if we're flipping people, it's not in a way that promotes an exit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's called a face turn.
How about that movie, The Devil Wears Prada? You know, she's always like the villain throughout the whole, thing until the very end when you see her vulnerable and everything, that she's a real human being. You know? They set that up beautifully, that you think that this woman is like she's really the devil, but then you realize that she's had things that have happened to her that have, hardened her, but she's really a soft inside.
Well, I have to say that the reason I really have to think about this a lot, with the first 15 years when I was in astrology, I was actually a villain because I was translating the Vedic Valens anthology against the wishes of Chris Brennan, against the wishes of these men who didn't want me to go do it. And they called me crazy for 15 years. I would go to conferences and be not booed, but kind of booed for like 15 straight years. I was a villain because I was a girl who went off by herself, who Chris and I separated ways. We were on this project together and I kicked him off. And then he's like, I'm never talking to you again. So then for 15 years, I was like off on my own being this rogue scholar. And like, so that was a villain, like you'll do a villain storyline for a long time. Then I worked at Portland School of Astrology. I was a good character there. Then they called me a racist. Then I was a villain. Like I've actually done face turns like several times. And like, so, but the reason, when you're in show business, the lesson is, and the one lesson I want us to all have here is you don't leave when you're not loved. You stand in front of the crowd and play your role of being the bad person at that time. I mean, do we agree with that?
Yeah. It's kind of like Muhammad Ali when he like stood for his principles and was viewed as, it's very Aquarian actually. We're leaning into like highly Aquarian behavior. Like we're making someone a villain in a way that the audience doesn't quite understand what's going on behind the scene. So it's almost like this revolutionary Aquarian nature. And then maybe when the flip happens again, they go to being this like genius, amazing character that everyone looks up to.
Well, I'm glad you're bringing sports into it because, like UFC, like once you get into the major leagues of any industry, and I do think that Moira Press, I don't know if we consider this major leagues, maybe it's minor leagues, but even if you're like a pitcher in the Dolphin baseball team or something, and you're doing great, and then all of a sudden you start pitching bad. You're still in front of the crowd, but all of a sudden the crowd is like boo, And what do? Do you exit like Jen is saying, or do you stay in and rehab, or like see how in any time you've hit the you're in the mix of the major or minor leaguers, you don't jump ship because the crowd's mad at you. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
You get traded. Just joking.
I sort of love this because like I'm a Leo sun, so we do need the right crowd. If we're getting booed, that's just not the right audience for us, so we leave and we go find a new one.
Well, kind of, but okay, so I mean, I don't know, like you had talked to me, Jenna, about maybe doing some contentious topics.
Yeah.
And you were afraid of that. And what I'm saying to you is, okay, then what about there's garnishing heat? What is that? When you do something contentious and the crowd starts watching, they're like, oh my God, that's what Debbie's talking about. What's going on over there?
Like a car accident.
That's what gets people watching is when you garnish heat. When you do something with juice to it, then otherwise people are like, it's crickets over there. Everyone's just getting along over there. They don't really watch.
I was thinking too for our show, like if I'm the bad guy in this situation, then it's helpful if we we have ideas for things where we do think different things, and I think that those will be really interesting topics. And I like this flow that we're doing first. But will I always have to be the bad guy? Like, you know what I mean?
If you're the bad guy once.
No, just like if you're like can you be the bad guy? Like I think that, and also do we want me to be the one that people are disagreeing with, or like saying that my like more out there ideas like all in order, or do we switch it up every episode? Because we both have those ones where we're like, we know this is not popular, and I think it's fun for me like to kind of even be your co-host, but also challenge in that moment. But if that would be uncomfortable, like I don't, you know what I mean?
No, I actually welcome it because I see that this is Aries North Node. Like I need to stand in my shit and like be that warrior by myself. So I'm welcoming it consciously, but emotionally, I'm preparing.
I also think of their first, I don't know, maybe 20 years, there were two guys, usually two different guys in three different shows, reviewing films or critiquing films, not really reviewing, but anyway. And they argued with each other and even yelled at each other, but during their show. At some point toward the end of the show, everything would be okay. They would reconcile in some way.
Yeah.
So they took wildly different views of things, but then by the end of the show, they were friends again. So that might be a skill to develop too, because then you can start with good guy, bad guy all over again. And somebody could say, who's going to be the good guy? Who's going to be the bad guy?
And you know, part of the reason to take it to the fighting stance here is because, like, astrology could be seen as a technical philosophy, and philosophy is actually a fighting-based discipline. Like, if you look at philosophers, they'll present a paper, and then everyone fights the paper. That's how they deconstruct things philosophically. So the idea that we're supposed to just present a theory and then everyone's supposed to nod their head is actually not really what astrologers are. We're philosophers in a lot of ways, and someone should be like, well, what about this, what about this, what about this? So it's not, and we can also have wins and losses. Like, maybe the reincarnation crew wins, you know, and then on one episode, and then Jay-Z comes back for a rematch and he's like, all right, well, what about this and what about this, you know, and then maybe he wins, and you know, I don't know, sorry.
I like that too, because like we want to do existential side quests, and it's like a video game thing, and we will have different, we want to break off. And when Jay-Z, your suggestion around like having a guest on in a debate way, like, we don't agree with that. I wasn't thinking about that, but that would be more interesting. And we've been toying with the idea of having lives in the corner, like little hearts that we lose. But I feel like now maybe we have multiple lives where it's like me versus Jenna sometimes, or it's like,
oh, right.
and it's like, where like, so it's really gamifying it where it's like multiplayer instead of just like lives where for all of us together. Like, oh, that's really interesting.
Right. Yeah. I like how, and like Bonnie's saying in the chat, debate tactics, less about roles. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's rhetoric,
I like that
right?
too.
This is rhetoric, and this is a debate. And yeah, I like how, Kimber, you're saying like that. Then you have like hearts or whatever in the corners,
Right.
and like, we could keep count in the chat, you know.
Right, exactly.
We could do something
I mean,
like
or even
that.
like the audience could be calling for a heart being lost.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like,
And
really.
actually, yeah. So you could have a debate, and then we could ask the audience to rate it, like who won on that point, who
Right.
won on that
Yeah.
point.
Being like a poll for sure. Yeah, that's really cool.
That would be fun and very interactive. Yeah, I was wondering how it would work, like, though. So I'm a different character, and like my character was not in this, you know, show that you and Kimber and Jenna were having, right? So it was you two, but I'm also like in the WWE. I'm like the Z0 character to your characters. So it's like, does Z0 from the audience start standing up and arguing with Jenna and Kimber, being like, why do you assume that or this? Like, I thought about it and thought, well, that's not really my place, and also it's their second show.
Also, I want to say something about their second show. What you see about the WWE when they're new characters who come in, they're not a baby face or heel right away. They're just trying to get up big enough to be a character that the crowd recognizes. I mean, they're really not loved or hated at the beginning. They're just kind of are building. But I do think Z0's character is dark and light. It's a baby face heel combo. Depending on it like is always, it's a crowd. You'll have to decide what Z0, but that's why you're half black, half white, right? You're dark and light.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can be like, when we see you in the chat, we can be like, oh, here's that again. Like,
I literally was just going to say, do you think if we see you, can we call Z0 specifically to the table and be like, hey, please comment?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That would, you know, and when we were Twitch streaming and I was watching a lot of Twitch streams, there's this thing too where they do they call for roll call. So they'll say roll call, and then everybody that's in the chat says hi, you know. So we could do things like that too that are more interactive with the chat. And yeah, like Bonnie said, in rap battles, the crowd applause is for the winner or whatever. We can get more interaction that way from the chat streams, maybe too.
Maybe Z0's character is like, if we need some darkness because it's boring, then he'll go dark, and if we need lightness because it's getting too contentious, he'll go light. Like maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting because his character is specifically a switch.
Yeah.
So his character is there to do whatever the moment calls for.
You're remediating us.
Yeah.
You're like chaotic good in D&D or something. There's like, yeah. I definitely, I think my character's a switch too, but my character is an astrological extremist. So like, I'll do things like, I'll do things like people want me to be really into my marriage, and I'm like, well, it's a good mathematics. Like I'll say stuff like that, but that's kind of heal in the moment because you're like supposed to be in love with your partner, but I'm being like, it's all about the math. Like, so see how I'm being kind of heal there for the sake of my character, who's just like an extremist in astrology, like everything's a math equation, you know. But I think that's part of something we can think about as we build our characters. Like, what does your character stand for? And like Debbie talked about in several meetings ago about like, you have to know the backstory of your character. What makes your character tick? Why are you this? Why, you know, it's like, what makes you, maybe we're not good guys or bad guys, but we're all switches, but we definitely are not like goody two shoes. Like we're like kind of like bad guy, good guys. I don't know. I mean, what about that idea that we're all switches?
I mean, you're human. You know, otherwise it's fake. You know, we all have a dark and a light side. And it's great when you have two people, because then there's, you know, if you just, and Alexander, you're right. It doesn't have to be, you know, I over, you know, acted on that, but yeah, it's an intellectual debate. But it has to be more of a, you know, like you put a little salt in there, put a little pepper, put, you know, just, you know, like I don't agree with that. That's what I love about Ricky too, is the fact that it's like he throws things out there and it's like, you know, you're like, what did you say?
Yeah, he's definitely has a dark side, and he's willing to fight. I mean, one of the things I hope we take away from this meeting is consent to engage, like on the dark and light side of things. Like, I really don't want us to be like a Pollyanna acting troupe that's just because we're, you know, Jenna, you know how you're into computer programs. What I'm in is to turning astrology into TV. Like can astrologers have a show like the wrestlers have? Like, can we show off like how cool astrology is? And like in that, there's how we could do debates on the house systems, on should you relocate a chart, is reincarnation real, you know, like what is the best kind of astrology. I mean, there's a million debates that we can have on in astrology, and I think that's what's fun about it. But I don't want us to have hurt feelings if someone goes dark for a second, or somebody has a little spice or black pepper in their step. Like, I don't want us to all go crying into our pillows. I want us to be like, whoa, that was a good show.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we all think of that?
That makes sense. I have a question around, like, I think we were talking about potentially doing some panel or roundtable episodes, and now it sounds like if we were doing a debate thing, like being intentional about picking people for that specific topic that we know think differently, for it to be an engaging thing. And there could even be like you know, in wrestling, there's a bell, like once the knockout is sort of happening, where as it's getting to this point, there's also this pause or like come down for then the next round.
Interesting. Okay, so what Kimber's referring to is what we want to do is for the Mars-Uranus conjunction in Gemini that's happening in July. I think Jenna said it's July 3rd. I looked at the schedule there, Jenna. I think we can do 2 hours of debates on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for 2 hours. I was thinking we could call it like debate days, or like we need a clever name for that, where we have 3 days of debates at the Moira Press, and it's for the Mars-Uranus conjunction in Gemini. And so we want to basically have intellectual battles because it's Mars-Uranus. Like, that's unexpected, you know, inflammation. I mean, you know, you don't know what to expect. Sorry, Alexander, we're having a time here around a little bit. But so do people like the idea of having debates from the Mars-Uranus conjunction?
I think that's a great idea. I mean, since I don't know anything about it, I still think it's a great idea. I think if you're going to have debates, you have to be careful to have evidence-based arguments. So people are saying, yes, well, that happens because, and not just, you know what I think? Because you know what I think is two guys sitting in a bar with a couple of beers. Evidence-based stuff is that this conjunction happens this way because, but conjunction debates, it's a good idea.
So what do we want to debate about? Like, is it anything? Like, could we have like the reincarnation versus non-reincarnation debate? Which is better, teleology or evolutionary? Like, do we want to just house system debates? Like, do we want to have any debates, or what do we want to have?
Maybe we can build hype and select the topics at the same time. So maybe we can propose and poll and ask the audience and get people to, like, you know, champion one side or the other, or, you know, maybe the characters that get selected to do the topics will, like, try to get their audience there to support them in the chat, or, you know, to make it a kind of fun event.
Just an idea. We don't have to do this. What if we had teams? Because sometimes when people are on a team, they're more apt to get feisty. Like, you know, someone's gonna back you up, so it's like, so.
Be in.
they could tap each other in. I was thinking the same thing, Kimber.
I love WE. I'm sorry. Just like,
and then, like 2 weeks before, you start telling people we're taking questions, we're taking opinions, we're putting them into our show. So if you want your opinion noted, send us a note. And then you go through those, you know, a little bit, not the whole show.
I like that idea of building hype. And Bonnie's saying, have you checked the analytics for hot topics? You know, Bonnie is in LA, you guys, and she works in production. So I'm like, everything Bonnie says, we're like, okay, Bonnie. No, but I think that's a good idea to check for hot topics. But I like calling the crowd. I think we plan a little bit farther out than a few weeks. I mean, we'll be planning these months ahead. But yeah, asking the crowd, what do you want to hear debates about? Then we could also go with people that we really want to have in the debates. Like, if there's a certain person you think we should have on the show that has a certain opinion.
I think it would be great to have Ricky and as close to the exact conjunction as possible. So it's like,
on his sun in Gemini too. Oh my God, he will be. How about Ricky debates everyone?
well,
how about Ricky debates himself?
Or everyone.
You know, that's very popular on TikTok. You have people dressed up, the same person dressed up as two different characters. And they say, well, no, I like to put the peanut butter on first. You can't put the peanut butter first. The jelly has to go on first. No, but you're wrong, because the bread will. And then I've seen that a lot on TikTok.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting. Have you guys ever seen a compliment roast or a compliment battle? Those are in rap battles. It's like where you compliment each other to a savage level. You guys should look at compliment roasts. I don't think we should do roasts because they're like a little bit too mean, but I do think debates is kind of up our alley. Debbie, is there anything you want to debate?
Oh gosh. I don't know. I'm just looking at the chart. You know, the moon is going to be in Aquarius at that time. And so that is perfect, I think, because it's like, you know, get everybody riled up in like the whole existential of what's going on.
I saw that on Wednesday. The moon conjuncts that Pluto and trines the Mars-Uranus. So that's why I decided on starting on Wednesdays, because that's when the moon's in Aquarius. Okay. Yeah, well, okay, let's all put our feelers out, and we need a name for it. Like, debate days has alliteration, but that's just not. We need like a domination. I don't know. We need some kind of catchy.
Death by debate.
Death.
They should have fire in the name.
Or Mars.
To the death.
Or Uranus.
We could call it martial arts. The days of debates. Fire frenzy, fire. Yeah, I don't know. Think about it for a week or so on names, or if anyone has a name, come to them, like, and will let us use it without copywriting it or something.
Or battle.
Oh yeah,
because it.
Uranus battle. Another debate we could have is new rulers or old rulers.
Oh, we had that debate already. No, just kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did. We debated on Saturday. That was like 2 hours of debate, wasn't it?
Yeah, we should have just published that.
Yeah, really, that was crazy. Yeah, but we need a name that's something to do with the Mars-Uranus conjunction, or Gemini, or debates, or battle, or domination, or something that would scare people enough that they want to watch, or participate. Okay.
All my ideas are inappropriate, so they're all puns with Uranus, so we're not using those.
Well, that will draw people.
Yeah. Okay, so anything else you want to talk about? Okay, I do want to talk a little bit about being a bad guy and how one of the things required when you go kind of bad is security. When the crowd gets mad at you, you kind of need an assistant because, like, so I'll do stuff where I'll make the crowd mad, but I try not to do it like too close to Norwalk, for example, because then we have to work really hard to like not be in a really contentious environment in Norwalk. Like sometimes I start fights a little with Chris Brennan, but like I still do want to debate the whole Betty's Founds anthology translation with him. But their team, anytime I bring it up, they get mad at me, and I'm like, "Well, we're supposed to have a debate, but they don't." I don't know. It's like I don't know. I know how to stir the pot, and I can stir the pot, but it's like I try to only do it strategically, and when I don't have to maybe make a public appearance soon after. But I mean, I think you do have to think about it. If the crowd does hate you, there are repercussions to that, and so you kind of want to be liked, but also I don't know. I don't know. That's been my experience with it. Is like, for example, there's a debate out there that the zodiacal releasing is not real. It's not really in the Greek, and so the crowd will always come up to me at Norwalk and talk to me about that. And then I have the choice of, do I highlight that concept or do I let it go? Because if I highlight it and make a video that's like, zodiacal releasing is not in the Greek, I read it in the Greek, it's not in there, then I cause a bunch of consent and I'm a heel and like I'm hated by all the Hellenists, right? So then I have to make the decision: do I say anything or do I not say anything? And so I think in scholarship there are times where there's actually dissension. It's not just a joke and it's not an act. It's actually real. And so I think that's something we have to consider as well. Is like there may be a time where you actually legit disagree with somebody who's famous or well known, and I think in the Moira Press system you are allowed to do that. You are allowed to disagree, Debbie.
You know what? That's totally on the nail. You hit it right on the head. Here's the thing. I think the whole purpose of this is to actually lighten it up a bit. That it can be two different things. Mm-hmm. That each person who is doing this, and we could really kind of act it up and all, but still in the end of it all, it's like, yeah, I respect what you're saying. I may not agree, but I respect what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, part of me feels like astrology needs to pull up its big boy pants and allow for these disagreements. Basically, I keep just getting quieted. And it's like, the thing is, there are literal disagreements about those translations that are still out there that we have not been allowed to actually hash out for whatever reason. But I think Debbie, I'm with you, is that we're trying to carve a space where fights are allowed. And that doesn't mean we're being unprofessional. That is part of the game of scholarship.
Yes.
So I'm with you, Debbie.
We could debate why they're not letting debates happen.
But that's so meta.
It's very conspiracy,
But, intellectual debate is all but gone in this country. It happens in very small places and very rarely. And if you look at the politics arena, there aren't people intellectually debating anything. They're just telling you you're wrong because you don't think the way I do, and you're wrong because you don't think the way I do. But they're not saying, like, this is the evidence I show, what do you think? This is the evidence I show, what do you think? So if you perpetuate an intellectual debate that draws people in, you're perpetuating that, in my view, across the country. Because it may happen in universities, but not among people who are worried about their tenure. So it doesn't happen very much. and I love it, frankly. And I would listen to something even if I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about.
Well, look at people in history who have caused contention. Eminem in rap was highly contentious for many reasons, and he battled and battled and battled and battled. In rap, there is battling. Battling is part of that equation too.
He's still battling.
And he's still standing up.
He's still winning. No, just kidding.
Yeah, he still has the same bodyguard he's had for like a long time.
I was thinking about
And now he
bodyguards
pushes him around
earlier.
in a wheelchair. Sorry.
That they're kind of a bad guy, so you can stay a good guy.
Absolutely.
Did you see what Bonnie wrote?
Wrestling, she's hated by Helen. She's bold, she's dark, she's not afraid to debate you. Are you ready to enter the ring? Dude, I'm ready to get in the ring. I'm Andy Savage.
Yeah.
Dude, let's get in the ring, Chris. Let's go.
Yeah, I think that it's interesting what you were saying, Debbie D, because it's like at the end of the day, when you say like, yes, I respect your position, it is like I'm thinking like, yeah, but if their position is wrong, it's hard to
continue. Then
respect
it's a continuation, I guess. You know.
And
Yeah.
I think, Andy, you have a hard part on this battle because it's like you're telling them, show me where it says this. So it's like they have to prove something, but you can't get them to want to prove it because they'll be proving themselves wrong.
Yeah.
So it's like that's tricky.
Yeah, well, and, so enough about me, because I don't want to make this about me. I guess when you've been at this for 20 years, it's like you just have a little experience. I'm trying to say, like, you guys, like, if you really become like a name in astrology, there may be times where you are not liked. And the point of this meeting is to say that is not a reason to stop, and that doesn't mean you failed. It means you're an actual scholar who cares about what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you have a point that you have to make and you disagree with one of your professors that you went to, or like there might be, that's part of coming up, is saying something. And it really came to me with Jenna a few weeks ago, was kind of like, I don't want to say this contentious thing. And I don't think you're ready for that. But that's why you have a team too. It's like, if you are ready to say something contentious, let us know, and we'll be like, all right, what do we need to do? And then we can be watching. If you say a contentious post, we can watch the post and like come in and intervene, or we can kick people out of the room. I mean, there's all kinds of things. We have security. We can call into those posts. But it's like in real production, there is drama, and that is part of the job.
Mm-hmm.
So. Okay. All right. Well, I hope this didn't scare you. I feel like I scare everyone every production meeting. Wasn't trying to scare you.
The last thing Bonnie wrote was, if the idea cannot withstand rigorous debate about it, it's not a real idea. I agree.
Bonnie, I really hope you come in the room with us sometime. We would love to have you inform our production meetings. I know you're in the bath right now, but now I will say, if anyone has a topic that they want to talk about at a production meeting, just let us know, like like a few days beforehand, and we will add it to the agenda. We just come up with things that we want to talk about, but if there's anything that you want to talk about, then we can talk about that too.
And if we have ideas for this Mars-Uranus debate time, how do we get those to you?
You can email or text or tell me on Tuesday. Yeah, any of those. And we do welcome ideas. I mean, that's why you're on the production team, is it's about ideation. You guys should watch WWF Unreal on Netflix and see their production meetings. You should watch them. They're just like us.
I love
Can the
that.
debates be like, instead of it being like an intellectual debate, can it just be more like a philosophical discussion where we use philosophy and other types of philosophy to say yay or nay?
I would listen to
Intellectual.
that.
Like, that's the types of stuff I'm interested in.
All right,
So
well, we
am
have to
I.
think about Mars-Uranus energy. What does Mars-Uranus want? I mean, we want to produce that moment. So maybe that would be good, but maybe it's under a different transit. I mean, I think the Mars-Uranus moment is like, bam.
I
let's
think
go.
my job name was Shocking Penetration, but if it's shockingly penetrative thought, because it's Gemini, then we're definitely
That's funny.
Shockingly
Shockingly penetrative. That's the title of your debates. Shockingly
Mars.
penetrative.
We could call it the penetrate debate. All right.
Jay-Z, I
Sounds very
love that you
Scorpio.
found bubble emojis.
All right, I do have to close the room, you guys, but think on the Mars-Uranus. We have several months, but we want to get that planned soon. So let's talk about that. I will see you guys. I will see you on Thursday. Jenna, you and I have to check in about how you're going to open the room for everything under the sun, and we'll talk about that. Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.